Okay. Good morning and good evening to everyone. So let us continue to discuss about SAP sales and distribution uh, module. And as part of today's topic, we are going to learn about or we are going to discuss about organizational structures, or you can say organizational structure. What is this organizational structure? Or why do we need organizational structure in SAP system? I mean to say that, so why we need organizational structure definition, or why do we need to do organizational structure configurations in the SAP enterprise management software? So can anyone answer? Or what are the different organizational structures? What are the different organizational structures which you see in the domain process in our day-to-day business process at our organization? So in our day-to-day business process, at our organization, what are the different organizational elements? Or what is like what kind of organizational structure you come across? You might have seen, in our company wherever you are working. Not in SAP. I'm asking generic.
Yeah, there are different departments, Venkat. And first, it starts with the topmost level, that is the company, as in the CEO and all, and then it comes down to sales, and then it comes down to finance and HR, and then production people.
Yes. So that means, like when you look at your any business, okay, it could be like a very high level. You can see that the company very high level. You see that the company, and then like you could see that different product lines, okay, different businesses. You can say that different businesses. So let us say if I say that Tata. If you say that Tata is a company, if you say that Tata is a company, they are doing a different kind of businesses. Like they are doing like steel, like Tisco, Tata Steel and Iron Company Limited, Tisco, and also like not only Tisco, like they are doing other businesses like consulting, providing the consulting services to the software, providing the consulting services to the software. That is, Tata consultancy services. Tata consultancy services. And not only that, we have like Tata, uh, Tata tea and related products. Tata tea and related products. And again, they do have other business kind of Tata automobile mobiles, right? We have Tata automobile. So like these, like Tata automobiles and Tata iron and steel and Tata tea and related products and Tata consultancy services, like this. So when we say there is a company, and that company is having different kind of line of businesses, okay, different kind of line of businesses, like Tata Steels or Tata chemicals or Tata tea related products, and Tata, you can say, like automobiles or no Tata consultancy services. So like this, like Tata company is into different line of businesses, or doing different kind of businesses. So this is what you generally see, company and the line of businesses. Okay, and again you have like when you look at the sales side, you have like different sales offices. You have different sales offices, and also you have different sales groups. You have different sales offices, like location of your sales office, and you have a different. Maybe it could be branches. It could be the branches. I don't know. You could be having different sales groups. Okay, a group of people who work together. To achieve the sales, to perform the sales related activities. We have like different kind of sales groups, and also you also have like from the purchasing side, we have like like you can say the purchasing groups. Okay, the purchasing groups, the group of people who work to achieve the purchase related activities. Okay, like this if you look at any organization, you see like different levels of an organization, or the different areas of the organization. You can say it could be different levels or it could be different areas. So what is the main advantage of doing this kind of structure in our business, like a company and line of businesses, okay, and the sales offices and sales groups. So what is the benefit of this kind of this kind of structures, this kind of levels in our organization, any organization?
Reporting will be easy and monitoring can be done.
Excellent. So one of the best advantage or the best benefit of using different levels, the reporting will be very easy. Otherwise if you do not have this kind of levels, so everything everything making report at company level, it really tough to manage. It's really tough to execute, and it's really very tough to handle the reporting structure, reporting process at one level. So that is the reason, like what happens in general in the domain process, in domain process, the company is divided into different levels. Okay, different levels, giving different names. So that is the domain process. That is the domain process, or the real business process. What happens outside SAP? So now the point is, if you have that kind of organizational levels, or different organizational elements in the domain process, what do you think? Don't you think that the same kind of process has to be configured in SAP as well? Don't you think that when you start using the SAP, what do you think? We also need to work on reports, right? We also need to generate reports, right? So when any company is going for any ERP or any software, what does it mean? They want to make their reporting is easier. They want to improve their sales. They want to improve their performance. Okay, like this, right? Reporting is one of the main idea behind going for ERP project, ERP package. Am I correct? Reporting is one of the main thing. So if you think that way, like if your domain process, a company is having different levels of organizational elements, or the different levels of organizational units, the same thing has to be considered in SAP as well, right? Am I correct or not?
Yes, Sankat.
So because of that reason, so due to the reason that in the domain process, due to the reason that every business is having different organizational levels, okay, because of that reason, SAP also has come up with a SAP also has come up with a same kind of approach in the system called organizational structure. That means SAP also have the same. I mean, it may not be the exactly same. But SAP has its own organizational structure, which you can map with any client business. Okay, SAP designed by taking into consideration of all companies, all industries organizational structures, by taking into consideration of all industries and all the companies organizational structure, SAP designed their own organizational structure at their own organizational levels. So, but ultimately you can map SAP organizational structure or organizational levels with your with every company organizational levels. So now we are going to talk about, now we are going to discuss about, okay, the SAP organizational structure specific to the sales and distribution module. Okay, SAP has given different organizational structure for different areas of the business. Okay, for sales it has given one kind of organizational structure. For purchasing, it has given one kind of organizational structure. For production, SAP has given one kind of organizational structure. For HR, other kind of organizational structure. And finance, different kind of organizational structure. But again, everything will be connected at the same place. Again, everything is connected at the at a central place. Let us see. Are you able to see screen?
Yes.
Shrinker.
Okay. So according to like SAP enterprise structure, or according to the SAP organizational structure, very high level, we have the client or the company. Okay, very high level, the highest level, the highest level of organization as per SAP is the client or the company. So based on our example, what is our client or what is our company? Our client or company is like Tata. Okay, Tata is the company or Tata is the client. Okay, because when you treat from the SAP terminology, when you treat from the SAP perspective, the client or the company is the highest level. Okay, which is like on the top of it, on the top position. And after that, what happens? Tata has different line of businesses. Tata has different line of businesses. So each line of businesses, each line of company, like you say, they call it as a separate company, right? You know that they call it as a separate company. So Tata is a client or Tata is a company, and it calls each company as each line of business as a separate company. They call TCS as one company, separate company, and Tisco as separate company, and automobiles as a separate, Tata Automobiles as a separate company. You know that, right? They consider as a separate line of business or separate company, like sister concern kind of thing. Still it is a company, still it's part of Tata, but they consider it as a different company. So those different companies, those different line of businesses, those different companies or those different line of businesses are considered as a company code in SAP. Okay, very high level. Tata is the client from your SAP organizational structure perspective. From your SAP organizational perspective, you call the company as a, like the company itself is a company or a client. You call or you consider the company itself very high level. You consider it as a client or the company, and then every company. Some companies may not have like multiple line of businesses. It could be there could be only one line of business. Okay, then if the company is and client is having only one line of business, the one doing only one business, one kind of business, or it's having only one sub company, or like it has, if it has only one doing only one kind of business, one product, like one line of business, then there will be only one company code. But if the company if the company is doing different line of business, let us say the Reliance. So the Reliance, very high level, it is a client or a company. Reliance is a company or a client from SAP perspective. But again, it is doing different line of businesses. Okay, Reliance textiles, or Reliance chemicals, or Reliance, you can say like the telecommunications. Okay, like this, it has different line of business. They're all different companies. You know that they don't mix their profits together. Do you know that? Like the TCS don't mix their stock. You can say the TCS never mixes their revenues with like automobiles. The Tata automobiles never mix with Tisco. You know that, right?
Yes, I
They
know.
treat as a separate company. Their revenues are treated as a individually. So if you are treating individually, if you are doing the profit and loss, like if you are doing the profit and loss account, or if you are doing your balance sheet, separately, then it is a different company, right? Kumera.
Yes, Venkat.
So do you think that a company will do the profit and loss account the client level, or do you think that company will do the balance sheet at the company level?
No,
No,
it
right?
would be
They only
according
do
to
the
the.
business. They only do the profit and loss account. They only do the balance sheet only at the the line of business level, like TCS level, or Tata textiles. Sorry, Tata like automobiles level. That means at each and every line of business level, they do the like profit and loss account. They do the like balance sheet kind of thing, or even the same case for the Reliance. So those line of businesses, those different line of businesses, those different sub companies are considered as a company code in SAP. Okay, the client or company is very high level, and then each and every line of business, each and every company, each and every like company of that client, each and every company of that client is considered as a company code in SAP. Okay, client and the company code. And again, so the same, once you start subdividing the company code, like let us say like the TCS. Okay, when you think about the TCS, okay, it has different sales divisions, right? It has different sales departments, or it has different sales divisions. Maybe it has like north sales division, south sales division. I don't know. Maybe it might be having like only one sales division for the one country. Okay, in one in India, one in US. Like it could be possible. There could be possible like different sales departments, or different sales divisions, or domestic sales division, or international sales division, like you can say based on the country wise, or based on the continent base. It's up to the client. Okay, if it's up to the company. So they might be doing like the sales operations. They might be doing the sales operations based on the country, or based on the state, or based on the like continent, based on the continent. So each sales division, or each sales department, each sales department, or each sales division are considered or treated as a sales organization in SAP. Okay, each client division, or each client like sales departments are treated or considered as a sales organization. And the one of the best rule, the one of the best advice given by SAP is always minimize the sales organizations. Always minimize the sales organizations. What does it mean? SAP recommends please use as low as sales organizations, as less as sales organizations. Okay, so that means if you are doing like business in 10 countries, okay, SAP would be recommending, okay, have the sales organization one for one country, or even if you want to reduce it, one for one continent. So Asia Pacific, you can do one sales organization, or Europe, you can do the one more sales organization. In other words, like, maybe in general, the mostly the rules are at a country specific, right? Mostly the rules and the regulations are, at the country specific. So because of that reason, it may not be appropriate to use the sales organizations. It may not be a good idea to configure the sales organizations at the continent level. It could be always good at like country level. If your client is doing business in like 5 countries, okay, and then it could be good, it would be very nice if you have like 5 sales organizations, which one is based on like which is based on the country level. So that means SAP recommends try to minimize, try to reduce, or try to reduce to define as low as less as sales organizations it is. So that now client of the company is very high level, and then company code, and then sales organization, and then the sales organization. Okay, and after the sales organizations, or the below the sales organizations, what happens? We have like few more. We have few more organizational elements. That is one is the distribution channel. Distribution channel. The name itself is telling what is distribution channel.
Distribution of the goods to the users, the end user.
So distribution of channel means the way how the goods are reaching the customer.
Customers.
The way, in other words, the channel which is being used to distribute the goods from your company to the customer. The channel which is being used to distribute the goods or to send the goods to a customer, to sell the goods to the customer from your company. So that is nothing but the distribution channel. So what are the different kind of channels? What are the different kind of ways we sell the goods to the customer?
There would be agencies, and there would be retails.
Like mostly like retail, wholesale, right? Retail, wholesale. Sometimes you also do the direct marketing, right? You also do the direct marketing, like that is go to the like customer directly. So the very frequent, okay, very prevalent distribution methods, distribution channels are like it could be retail or wholesale, or maybe direct sales. So the way how you distribute the goods, the way how you are selling the goods to the customer is nothing but distribution channel. That distribution channel also has to be defined in the system. If you are doing 3 different kind of methods to sell the goods, you need to have 3 methods configured. You need to have the 3 methods defined in the system in the form of distribution channel. So client, company code, sales organization, and the next level is the distribution channel. And then what is division? It's also very straight. Division. So basically division is nothing but product division, right? Product division. Like the group of products which belongs to the same group. The list of products, the list of material which belongs to the same kind of product group. The same kind of product group is considered as a division in SAP system. So the products which comes under the same category are the products which consider in the same kind of process, same kind of like design, or like same kind of purpose. We consider those kind of products as a like product division. So that we configured as a like a division directly in the division is always like division in SAP system. Okay, sales organization, distribution channel, and division. For example, so all the baseball related products under the baseball division, all the like softball related products under the softball division, or like it could be any other product if you take an example of different case, okay, like this, these divisions also has to be like defined in the system. So this is the typical sales organization, typical SD sales and distribution organizational structure. It has client and company code and sales organizations, and then divisions and distribution channels. Okay, and there are two more organizational units. Those two are sales office, and sales group. But mostly clients are not using sales offices or sales groups, even though SAP developed, or even though SAP designed this sales offices and sales groups. No client is using. Basically, sales group is a group of people. A group of people who are intended to sales group is a group of people who are intended to who are responsible to sell the goods. And sales office is a physical location. Sales office is a physical location which is responsible to take care of the all the sales related activities. Sales office is a physical location which is responsible to take care of the sales activities, and sales group is a list of group of people who are responsible to take care of the sales activity or sales processes. Okay, these two, sales group and sales offices, are not typically considered by the clients, but the other organization units like client, company code, sales organization, distribution channel, and division, these two are mostly used every client. Okay, this is the typical organizational structure of sales and distribution. And one more thing, you can see like sales organization, and you can see distribution channel, and you can see division. Okay, division, distribution channel, and sales organization. You know what happens in SAP, in SAP SD, what we do, what we say, the combination of sales organization, distribution channel, division. The combination of sales organization, distribution channel, and division. So the combination of the three elements we call it as a sales area. Okay, we have a concept of sales area. We have a concept of sales area in SAP SD module, which is nothing but the combination of sales organization, distribution channel, division. The combination of these three elements will be called as sales area. This is the typical organizational structure of SAP SD. And in the next class we'll continue to discuss about the other dependent related topics. Okay, and I will share the recordings probably by today. Okay, in couple of hours I will send the recording. Okay,
Okay.
any questions?
Thank you.
Study material also, Venkat.
Sure, I will do that.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's only two people.